Good evening, Africa, and welcome to Late Night with Nike Oshinowo. So it's said that you get the leadership you deserve as a country. Is this what we deserve? The government we deserve? We have extremely young nations throughout the continent of Africa. And as we grow and move forward, it is of utmost importance that we examine our leadership. This is the key reason why I decided to do this show. And this episode is one of the most exciting that I'm about to do because it shines such a bright light on this issue.
Every day starts with a vision. And as the saying goes, if you believe you can fly, you will. Flying demands the best of safety procedures, and that is why we are abreast of global standards delivered by top technicians using some of the most advanced technologies. At Arik Air, we don't just believe in flying, we are passionate about the flying experience. Arik Air, Africa's fastest growing airline.
My guest this evening is Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. Now, he's Minority Leader of the House of Representatives, as well as APC Caucus Leader. Now, he has a super duper title. He is called Oluomo. How are you?
Very well.
Do you know, it is such an honor to have you.
Thank you. I'm
as
glad
a guest
to be
on
here.
the show. As you can see, we are frightfully political.
Yeah, it looks like and sounds like too.
Are you suitably impressed?
Yes, and we'll see how it goes.
Now, this is Chita.
Hi, good evening.
And I promise you, he's not the only political person here. We all are, aren't we?
We all need to be.
I'm very comfortable around politicians, so that's good.
So let's go right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a quick break, come right back. That way we don't get any interruptions. We'll be right back.
I live abroad, and I've always looked for an easy and convenient way to carry out banking transactions in Nigeria without any hassle. But now, I can.
With my first diaspora account,
I can monitor cash flow into my account via online banking, save in order to invest in businesses, pay my staff salaries, and even pay money directly into my loved one's account, like I live in Nigeria. I can explore so many other financial advisory services easily and still use my Naira MasterCard anywhere in the world. Join me. Make the switch to seamless and convenient banking solutions today, wherever you are outside Nigeria. Choose First Diaspora from First Bank.
The surname.
Yes.
I called Gbajabiamila.
Yes.
What does it mean?
See, and that's you. You're a Nigerian. You
And
can
I'm
imagine.
Nigerian.
You can imagine
And
what I had to go through when I was in school in England and when I practiced in the
I
United
know.
States. It was a mouthful.
But don't
it was
you
a mouthful.
a serious
tongue
mouthful?
twister.
No, what does it mean?
Literally, it means somebody who basically fights for the weak and the oppressed. Baja.
Benny.
Take my fight.
Yes.
Yes. Mila, and to help me out.
Yes. You studied law. Then you practiced law. You first of all, you went to school in three different continents. You know, you went to school here in Nigeria. You went to school in England. You went to school in the United States. You practiced law in the United States. You
And
practiced law in Nigeria. Yet your future, your future pulled you into politics. How do you explain that?
It's not for me to explain. It's just basically the way it is. You know, it's just the way it happens. Your progression in life is not something that sometimes you map it out.
Thank you.
Sometimes you map it out, and sometimes
for us.
sometimes circumstances actually dictate, you know, what happens to you. There's a little bit of coincidence, and there's a little bit of a natural calling for me in terms of politics.
Natural call, because your mother was in
There
politics.
you go. That's exactly.
So literally, it's in your DNA.
Yes, it's in my DNA. My mother was probably the first female local government chairman in Lagos, perhaps maybe even in Nigeria, if I do the research very well. And so I was more or less born into it. It was around me. I played it from an early age. Even when I was in the United States, practicing as a lawyer, even before that, I was very politically involved with the politics of America and Atlanta, where I was.
In your DNA.
Yes, it is.
No
so there's nothing you can do about it, Nike. It's there, and it's there to stay.
It seems really the best formula for politics is to study law, rather than study politics like I did. Study law and then go into, I mean, the Kennedys all studied law, etc., etc. You know, you elites, really, you tend to do your law and then you go into politics. Is that a formula that...
I like the way you snuck in the word elite. I don't know if I want to consider myself as such. I'm a regular Joe Blow. You know, I'm just a regular guy.
Joe Blow. Yeah, wonderful.
I'm just a regular guy. And in terms of law and my profession, you don't have to be a lawyer to be a politician, to be a successful one or a good one.
Before going into the legislature, just mainstream politics, politics in general. You use the word. You don't have to be you don't have to be a lawyer to be a politician. And then you now said good politician. I'm talking good politician.
I don't know that you need to be a lawyer to be a good politician. I just think you have to be, you just have to have your wits about you. You have to a very large extent, have a very thick skin, because you'll come everything, including the kitchen sink, will be thrown at you. You just have to basically have people's interests, because politics is about people, really. And if you have that, there you go.
Gbajabiamila.
Yes.
You love it.
Yes, absolutely. So you just have to basically be people. Your politics and your outlook to life has to be people-centered. Once you're at that point and at that level, I think everything else will just begin to fall in place.
Talking about politics being people-centered, is this why you're so, you've spoken out so publicly against this exclusive list?
You're talking about the exclusive list in the Constitution?
In the Constitution.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's you cannot talk about a federal republic and federalism and have a top-heavy, that is the exclusive list, number of items on that list for the federal government. A strong center, which is what the exclusive list is about. We have about 65 items that the federal government has to deal with, and that is
including. I mean, including power,
ports,
the ports.
Yeah, just basic things.
Sorry.
Wages, transportation,
health, just all sorts, all sorts, and that's an anomaly in a federal constitution. We push for devolution of powers to the states, so that the states stop going cap in hand to the federal government, and making them beholden to the federal government, even though they're another tier of government. The federal government now controls about 53% of the revenue of the federation, and 36 states have to share about 26%. You do the math, and that's why you find a lot of states are being shortchanged, and
when they don't play ball, most especially. With the center.
And they have very little money. Even when they play ball, you have very little coming to you, and so that's why we're we're asking for restructuring. It's a major restructuring of our constitution, to whittle down the powers in terms of the burden on the federal government, and get these things back to the states and let the states deal with them.
Right now, we have a PDP government. If we now had in the center, a PDP president, if we had an APC president, do you imagine this would change?
Well, probably, it would probably be the first and probably most important thing that the APC government would undertake. Yes, yes, a restructuring of.
I'm going to go more into more detail. We're going to continue when we come back after this break. Thank you.
going on?
Ah, so you haven't heard? Etisalat is giving amazing data value and smartphones at the lowest prices with up to 1.5 gigabytes free data sign-up bonus and 100% bonus on all data purchases from 200 MB and above for 12 months. Can I show you some phones?
Get the latest devices at amazing prices at any Etisalat Experience Center or authorized dealers and choose from the blazing fast data and amazing tariffs, all on your smartphone network of choice.
Etisalat, now you're talking.
Still talking about this exclusive list, things such as what happens at the ports. I mean, what would that have to do with who's president? Things to do with whether I have power in Lagos State or have power in Kaduna State. Why should that have to do with the center, with Abuja? I actually don't. I mean, Mr. Chita, does that make...
I think the exclusive list, as he has said, is an aberration. And I want to take you up on something. I don't think you've done enough to push for the whittling down of it. Should have been top of the agenda.
But let's not forget that he literally is,
he started
leader of
talking
the
about
opposition.
it in 2006. And I mean, right now, the opposition owns some critical areas. That's, for example, the Speaker of the House is in the opposition. At least the agenda, there can be more to be done in creating awareness for Nigerians. Because basically, we have Akwa Ibom talking about, say, the Baka port, which we all know will not fly as long as the exclusive list remains as it is. So Nigeria's economy remains at a standstill in reality.
Yeah. Well, like you rightly said, I mean, we beyond 2006, we've been pushing for these things, and sometimes legislative work is done behind closed doors.
Yes.
You talk, you try to cajole, you try to persuade, the gentle push here and there, and we've been trying to do that from behind the scenes. And you must understand the way politics works, and this is world over, not peculiar to Nigeria. It's really a numbers game.
Yes.
And you've heard the saying, majority will always have its way, while the minority will have its say. So yes, we have tried to push this, and we've reached some level of success in terms of the exclusive legislative list. But it's an ongoing process. The speaker who you referred to as now being part of APC, really, that can give you some leverage, but it doesn't change the numbers game. When you put it to vote, he's not going to rig the count. It's an ongoing process. That issue can still come up. But these things are not done overnight, and we'll just continue to push. I agree with you that we need to continue, to push this thing, and we will.
With the hoo-ha of having a sitting Speaker of the House move while he's a sitting Speaker to another party, and then the drama that ensued. I want to talk about how that affected you. How did you deal with that?
The events of that day for me were extremely sad, unexpected. Didn't think we'll take something that has become a buzzword in Nigerian political lexicon today, impunity to that level. But yes, basically, let me run through it again and make you understand exactly where we are and contextualize it, so that people, your audience and people out there will understand exactly where we're coming from and what was beginning to unfold at that time to us. We got to the chambers, and I've been in the National Assembly 12 years now. I'd never ever seen a deployment of troops anywhere, not talking about National Assembly, like we saw that day.
Wow.
Over 300, 400 policemen, some of them hooded, masked.
Hooded?
So you don't even know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I saw tanks like I'd never seen before. So it was like a war zone. And we got there, we're privy to the knowledge that some PDP members were already in the House, including the Deputy Speaker. Now, I'm not saying anything, but that was what was on ground. And when the Speaker came, they basically more or less shut the gates. Okay? And some of us were also locked out at the point in time. Now, understand that the President had written to the Speaker Not only did he read the letter, I saw the letter addressed to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, asking him to renew or to extend, asking for an extension of the state of emergency. Now, the Speaker, being a patriotic person, in the interest of the nation, we had adjourned to the 3rd of December, but he reconvened the House, and that reconvening the House was triggered by the President's letter. And in reconvening the House, he went there to preside over the House, and he was shut out. And we realized that, gosh, these people are being clever by half. It sounded to us like they weren't too interested in the extension, more interested in shutting the Speaker out of the House and impeaching the Speaker. I'm going to say it exactly as it is, and impeaching the Speaker.
So really, you know, we're supposed to see it as an attempt at impeachment.
Yes, the same script that was played out on the same day in Ekiti, where 7 people impeached the Speaker of the House, and till today, nothing has been done about it. He remains the Speaker, illegally and unconstitutionally. And so that was the script that was being played out. Okay, we'll impeach this guy and let these guys go to court. At that point, and for the first time, I felt, you know, rightly so, that people felt the end justifies the means. Yes, ordinarily, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't jump the gate. But the consequence of not jumping the gate, I mean, can only be imagined.
Okay.
And so members felt, and they jumped the gate. To make sure that whatever something terrible that was about to happen in there, we had to save this democracy. We cannot do it from the outside. You can only do it from the inside. I was the last to jump that gate because I felt quite right that I'm jumping this gate. Yes, I mean, there'll be a lot of questions to answer. A lot of people will be disappointed. And I was right at the end of the day. But then my members were calling me. My phone was ringing at least 100 times in 2 minutes.
Whoa.
And my members were calling me, where are you, where are you, where are you, where are you? They needed somebody to come in and provide leadership and give directions. And so the choice before me was go home or go and lead your guys. They've jumped the gate. You get no better than them. They've jumped the gate. You need to provide. Otherwise, something terrible is going to happen in there.
I see that you're dying to. What is that?
First, I want to congratulate you on that feat of athleticism. I think you could represent us in the Rio Olympics. Seriously.
Very funny.
One of the things that triggered that whole thing was Defection. The whole series of Defection. I would like to know what's your
I was going to get to that next. But Chita, will you do me a favor?
Okay.
So, with the way he's put it, would you have jumped that gate?
I would have jumped. I want to understand how your position has shifted in terms of this defection thing. Because you used to speak against the whole defection thing very publicly before. Why is it that now you are suddenly supporting someone who defected?
No, I'm not supporting someone who defected. I'm supporting the Constitution. You know, it's still within the Constitution, and we shouldn't look at this as a personal thing. It's not personal. I've always stood for the Constitution, and until it is changed, it remains the Constitution. For
clarity, what does the Constitution say about sitting government officials defecting?
Well, the provision of the Constitution that is often referred to out there that's being bandied around is Section 68(1)(g). And a lot of people misunderstand that or done it intentionally, because there's nothing to misunderstand there. It's pretty clear. It says you cannot defect.
Okay.
But you are allowed to defect if there's a division or if your party is factionalized.
Right.
Now, I don't think it's disingenuous for anybody out there to tell me that PDP is not factionalized or PDP, there's no division in PDP. There was a case where PDP members in Sokoto State sued their now APC colleagues that had moved to APC in the State Assembly. And the court came down with a ruling about 3 months ago and made it clear that there's a division in Sokoto, is where the deputy governor is PDP and the governor is APC. He moved from PDP to APC. What more evidence of division do you want to say there is no division in Sokoto State? The speaker in Ondo State moved with Mimico
From Labour
to PDP, from Labour to PDP. There was no division in PDP. Nothing like that. PDP, in
Labour.
Labour was one.
I want to now talk very quickly about constituency projects.
Yeah, sure.
Constituency projects, what are they? You know, literally, what are these constituency projects, and how do they benefit us?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. And again, that's another thing that's been misunderstood by lots of Nigerians. First of all, constituency projects is just, it's nomenclature here. It's given different names all over the world. In America, they call it either pork barrel legislation or earmarks. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, and that is where you look. First of all, your responsibility as a legislator is to, apart from the core responsibility of making laws for good governance, it's also to attract federal presence to the people you represent. When you go out there to campaign, they tell you, or even beyond campaign, for the 4 years that you're there, they tell you what their problems are. This road is bad, we have no power here, this and that. And that's more, to a lot of people, that's even more important to them than the lawmaking that you're doing.
True,
now,
especially for a developing nation.
So basic amenities.
Really, yeah.
Now, the president, the wisdom of the Constituency Project, and all over the world too, the president does not know what's going on in my constituency. The president will not know what's going on in your constituency. You know, he sits atop or whatever there. And even the minister, for instance, of education, will not know whether I need schools in my constituency. I am there to represent those guys and take those needs to the federal government. And when the federal government is budgeting in terms of schools here, hospitals here, the water here, the only way they can know what's going on, I have to fight for my constituency. And that's where the concept of, and like I said, it's all over the world, constituency projects come in. And those are the things you see out there that we do. And the misunderstandings, and nobody, I've never been there for 12 years. Nobody's ever given me a dime for constituency projects. They don't give it to the legislators. It is the ministry, whatever ministry is concerned, that they have their own contractors. I just tell them, look, I have this problem in my constituency. You need to come and fix this road. And they give it to their contractor. And the contractor comes. I've never seen the contractor. I don't know what they look like. I don't know the name. I just know that this work is being done.
Do you find that people go into politics in Nigeria with noble intentions generally, and then they get in there and reality strikes?
Sometimes expectations are hardly met when you go into any, whether it's business, whether it's politics, whatever. Sometimes you get disappointed. And I think that rings true also very much with politics, and especially in Nigeria. You go in thinking you can make a difference. It sounds like a cliche, but some people do mean it.
Yes.
That they're going in to try and make a difference. And you get in there, and at times, you feel either through because of the red tape, or because other people don't share your vision, and because of ethnicity, religion, other things begin to come into play. When you're sitting there, you're dealing with so many other people that have various interests that collude with yours. And sometimes that may make you feel a little bit despondent or whatever. But you have to just hang in there, roll up your sleeves and just do what you got to do and push it. That's why legislation sometimes takes forever. And it's not peculiar to Nigeria.
We know.
Look at America, for instance, and people are pushing for health care, for instance, the Democrats, there's the Obamacare, but the Republicans are fighting it based just on politics, just for political reasons. So it's not something that's peculiar to Nigeria. It's all over the world. But to answer your question, yes, there will always be disappointments here and there. But I think you just have to, just understand it for what it is, and continue to push and continue to lobby and continue to do all these things until you realize where you're going.
My final question.
Yes.
You use the word despondent. Are you proud of what you do? Or are you, if not despondent, are you a little disappointed? Or if not disappointed, are you able to accept the fact that you went into this with with the best intentions, and you're doing the best you can for us?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Personally, I think I've served to the best of my ability. I've served. I'm happy with where I am as a person in terms of my input. Now the output may not be where it should be, because it has to be a collective output.
Exactly.
And we're not there yet. people out there always look at the political class, look at the politicians, look at no. It's about all of us. It's about all of us. And for us to get there, everybody has to be involved. Yeah. You know, you can't sit back, like I said earlier, and be a Monday morning quarterback criticizing, armchair critic. But when it's time to get involved and make a difference, the change has to be driven from everybody out there.
Yes, we too are doing our best.
Yes.
We're all
doing
our best.
We don't drive that change.
However, how can we improve the productivity of your guys? Because frankly, your House of Representatives, the Senate is worse, very lazy.
Yes, well, but like he just said, so that's a group of people. This is him, one person.
I'm challenging him to go back and work to improve, talk with them.
And I'm challenging you to go back home when it's time for elections. You look at the issues. I tell your people not to be interested in money. Tell them to be interested in... Look, I'll give you an example. There will be people in either the Senate or the House.
While this is going on, I'm going to say good night to you all.
In 1 year.
And I'm going to say I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much.
There are people in the Senate or in the House who, in a year, might appear... I've only seen maybe 4 times in a year.
While it takes
but they're going to go back home when it's time for election, and they're going to win hands down. Okay,
I know that.
So it's about the people. The people need to try politics of issues, you know, and determine who will serve them best.
Comes back to awareness.
It's as simple as that. But if I come home when it's election time and I bring a trailer load of money and give it out, irrespective of what I do in Abuja, I'm going to win.
No, we're hoping that is changing, because for as long as that trailer load of money isn't going to be able to affect my vote, because you can't buy my vote.
That's you. I'm not talking about you.
But there's so many people like me now.
No. There are more people out there. There are more people out there that need that money. I'm not talking about you. And I'm talking about little money. Okay?
2,000.
Yeah, I'm talking about little money. So I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about you. You are not.
Anyway, at the end of the day, to change that narrative, really, the economy has to improve.